Raines objected and tried to keep her from taking the stand because her testimony is powerful. And what she testified to was the fact that she talked to Oscar just minutes before he was murdered. And the only things he was able to say to her before he was killed was that they're beating us for no reason. They're beating us for no reason. And then he had to get off the phone. And just a few minutes after that, she heard the shot. And she thought to herself, is this Oscar? I hope it wasn't Oscar. That truth was something that the district attorney did nothing to defend, and which Messerly's attorney fought to keep up. Well, she took the stand anyway. But when she did that, she opened herself up to being attacked by Messerly's attorney, Raines, and he did that. He went after her. He tried to tear her apart. And throughout the entire cross-examination, it was so bad that even the judge had to interrupt and raise his own objection in her defense because the DA sat there silently and said nothing. The judge who was not our friend, the judge who was not representing us either, the judge who was not allowing any of the previous records of Messerly to come into the evidence that exists and is public, evidence that he beat another black BART rider named Kenneth Carruthers, beat him, hog-tied him, lifted him and dislocated his shoulder, took him into the back of a police car and drove around the middle of the night in the Bay Area and took him to 3 different hospitals before they could find a hospital willing to cover up for the police's brutality. They charged him with resisting arrest, and when he had his court date in January, after Messerly was already charged with murdering Oscar, the district attorney, the same district attorney, agreed to drop the charges against Kenneth Carruthers so that Kenneth Carruthers could not get a copy of Johannes Messerly's personnel file. Okay? Here's what's going on. But that same judge who is making sure that crucial evidence is kept out of this case, who is allowing the previous arrest records of Oscar and his friends to be taken into this courtroom so that way Raines can turn this into a trial against Oscar, not a trial against Messerly, the real criminal and the real murderer. That same judge who, when Savina went to take the stand, said to her, Miss Mesa, you know that your job is to tell the truth and only the truth, don't you? He interrupts the court to say that to her, implying and painting her to the jury as a liar. That same judge who is not our friend still has to interrupt to defend Miss Mesa because Raines goes after her so bad and so obviously with complete maliciousness that even that judge has to interrupt her. That district attorney is not doing his job. He is not trying to prosecute these cops. You know why? Because he works for the cops. Because the DA and the police are one unit. Law and order says it all. You got one wing who are the police, who take people on the streets, and you got the DA in the offices who put away innocent people all the time. We must build this movement and build it independently. It's the only way we even got as far as getting the first cop in the history of California charged with murder is because we built that movement independently. But we weren't able to build a strong enough movement in Oakland to prevent it from being moved out of our city. So now it is here, and we cannot allow another Rodney King situation here in Los Angeles. We cannot allow another injustice like that Simi Valley decision by that jury to happen right here where that Rodney King injustice happened. We are counting on Los Angeles. We are counting on you, and we are going to do everything we can from Oakland and from the Bay Area and to spread the word nationally. But we need to take this and own it for ourselves, because whether or not this cop gets away with murder, young people across the nation, every single person who saw those videotapes, who saw that murder happen, is looking to this as a test case on whether or not the life of a young black man is worth anything or not. And it's looking at this to decide whether there is any kind of justice make sure the strongest jury members not just have the evidence, but have the political understanding and awareness that if they decide wrong, they are going to be accountable to the people of this city. They are going to be accountable to the people of Oakland. They are going to be accountable to the people of San Diego, of Compton, of Chicago, of New York City, you name it. And that they better watch it, because Rodney King was not that long ago. I remember Rodney King, and I remember that decision. So we've got to make clear to them that they better watch it, because what happens after this decision, what happens on the streets of Los Angeles or Oakland or anywhere else, is going to be on them. And they have an opportunity to correct a historic wrong, but if they don't, we will. We will. And we will punish those police, and we will make clear to this court system that if they don't win justice for us, we will win it for ourselves. Keep the fight going. Justice for Oscar Grant. Thank you.
Moving along right now, we're going to bring up a sister right now, Cerise, who some of y'all might know has been her own court case with the police. She was battered, brutalized, criminalized by the police. You know,